B.LEAGUE action coming your way here this Saturday afternoon, right before the new year. Well, as early as now, we'd like to say and wish everybody a happy new year as we've got Levanga Hokkaido, though, going up against the Toyama Grouses here this Saturday. Levanga at 6:18, Toyama at 3:21. Both these squads need a victory. We'd like to welcome everybody to the HOKKAIDO, the site of today's game and the home of Levanga Hokkaido. You can see these two squads mired there in the cellar of their respective divisions. In the Eastern Conference, you can see in 7th place is Hokkaido, and in the Central Conference, in dead last, you've got Toyama. They got to start working and working hard. Unfortunately, here for these two squads, injuries have been a huge factor. Good thing for Hokkaido, Dwight Ramos is back in action for his squad. So at least he will bolster a squad that has a full complement of imports. As you can see there, Hokkaido will have Dwight Ramos there, number 2. They also have number 21, Dal Willis Jr., number 24. Another one of their world imports, Damon Brooks, and number 40, Thomas Welsh. That's a squad there of Coach Ryutaro Onodera. They need to start winning and winning now. They still have a lot of games to be played. A lot of things can still happen. It's got to begin now. On the flip side, for Coach Daisuke Takaoka, unfortunately for him, still no number 15, which is AJ Edu, which is his Asia quota import from the Philippines. He'll be relying on number 4, Troy Murphy. Number 17, Angelo Chol. Number 22, Miles Hessen. Number 23, Novar Gadsden. As you got the starting 5 for the squad of Toyama, they'll be starting out with number 4, Shuto. Check that. That's Troy Murphy, who we talked about earlier. They also have number 16, Takashi Ito, one of the quickest players here in the B-League. They're also going to start out with number 20, Shunsuke Ueda. Number 23, Novar Gadsden. And number 30, they're going to have Quincy Miller. Quincy Miller, of course, fresh from the Philippines. That's him on your screens there. Last played in the PBA, also played in the ASL. In the PBA, he played primarily for Converge. And then just this last season, he played for the squad of TNT. NBA veteran. He can score from just about anywhere on the floor. Loves to play defense. Gets a lot of boards. That'll be a nice matchup with this gentleman here, Troy Murphy. Will be helping also in the starting squad. But let's now take a look at Thomas Welsh, number 40. He takes up a lot of space inside. He's 7 foot flat. 27-year-old center. Look at the way he plays defense. We covered that last week. And Thomas Welsh made life so difficult for Charles Jackson. Comparative numbers heading into today's ball game. And as you look at those numbers, let's enjoy all the fanfare as we welcome in the squad of Levanga Hokkaido. And now we got a starting five for Hokkaido. And there you have the starters for Levanga Hokkaido and the squad of Coach Daisuke. Number 2, Dwight Ramos. Number 11, Ryota Sakurai. Number 15, that's Ren Shimatani. Number 21, Daryl Willis Jr. And number 40, Thomas Welsh. Your three officials handling proceedings here. You got referee Ono, referee Odatsu, and referee Takano. Starters once again, Ramos, Sakurai, Shimatani, Willis, Welsh. For the Grouses, Murphy, Ito, Ueda, Gadsden, and Miller. Miller opted to leave the PBA because he had a long-term offer here from the squad of Toyama. That's him on your screens there. That's going to be an explosive team up. Miller and Gadsden. Let's see if that combination can get them more victories here. Tale of two coaches. And now, right before we usher in the new year, these two teams will battle each other Saturday and Sunday. Game 1, right here, right now. Again, usual read. Shimatani will try to go inside, and that might be the first personal foul on Novar Gadsden. It is. Taking his head there. There's Novar. Thomas Welsh heads to the line for 2 shots. First points on the board, courtesy of Thomas Welsh. They want to give their fans something to cheer about before the year ends. Kiss 2023 goodbye with a win. The Toyama squad has really beefed up, especially with that gentleman there, Miller. Turnover. Wells is going to do his job inside there. You might want to try to give Miller the ball a little bit higher. Let Wells operate a little further away from the basket. You can see there, he's trying to post up. Big action. Yes, it works. It's 4-0 here for Hokkaido. Makani doing what he does best, harassing the opponent's point guard from end to end. Gadson outside. I think they try to look for Quincy. They haven't. Finally they get it to Miller. They kick it out. Open three. A little bit too strong that time. Here's Willis once again on the break. He landed off. And they're going to do their usual passing from side to side. Make the defense work. Shimatani with a floater. No. Quincy Miller will do that. He'll help out on the board. Surprising. Miller doesn't really try to attack the basket. Here comes Novar Gadson. First basket here for Toyama. That's an explosive duo. Gadson and Miller. Matani up high once again. Dwight Ramos gathers. Will come up short though. Miller pushing it up. In no hurry. He can stop and pop. Yes, he will. Not gonna hit that time though. Two shot. Willis from the outside will connect. It's now a 5-point advantage. Willis now with 5 points. 5 of the 7. That's not a good pass. Twice already. They've given up horrendous turnovers to start things off. Demond Brooks is going to check in. Van Buva will check in. The short stint for Quincy Miller. Hasn't even gotten going yet. He's been replaced. Very quick change from both these coaches. It's a matchup thing, I guess. 5-point lead enjoyed here by Hokkaido. Looking good at home, at least for the time being. That's going to be a great matchup inside. Buva up against Thomas Wells. Ito at the point. As always, he's not had a good start to this game though. They tried to look inside. Not a good pass. Another turnover. This live turnover. Sakurai was thinking of taking it. How do we bring it around? Willis scores again. He's got a total of 7 points. And a quick timeout will be called here by Toyama as they now trail by 7. Back to the action here at the Hokkaido Kita Edu. So far, so good for Hokkaido. Ono in the ball game. That's going to add a lot of height. Almost another turnover. Tries to save it. Shimatani gets it. Look at the speed of Shimatani. Almost lost it though. They'll reset. Send it over to Dwight. Here's Sakurai to the wing. Shimatani for three. High looper, yes! It's 12-2. Everything clicking now for Hokkaido. An attack. Quick move. Not going to work for Ueda, but foul will be called. It's going to be the first on Sakurai. Takeshi Mito will check in. Sometimes would start. He's a very reliable player. Ono. Back there to Ito. A little bit too strong. One and done. Willis to the board. Here comes Shimatani. That's a nice seal. Early seal. Using that entire 7-foot frame. Only a local to be able to take care of. He just ran him over. Like a truck. Watch this. Perfect pass. Really nothing Ito could do there. Looking to complete the three-point play. Ramos Wells is 7 foot flat. But he runs like a guard. First personal foul going to be called on Ito. Checking in is Kohei Sekino now. Also started a few games this season. I like the substitution. Sending in Miller. You're going to need his scoring. Ito will deliver. Only the 4th point here for Toyama. Willis from the outside, no. 1 for 2 from 3. Here's Miller. He should try to take over. Finds Buba. Buba's gonna blow the cripple. Shimatani will be fouled. First personal foul on Mito. Shimatani will take a breather as Shuto Terrazono takes his spot. That's Shuto there. Shuto is very experienced. And he also has a lot of speed. He's gonna come up short there. Terrazono is 29 years old, but he hasn't lost a step. 14-4 is still our tally. Nice look there at Coach Daisuke Takaosa. Miller with the handoff to Ono. Ono will attack. Tops out. Couldn't see anything. Welsh was right in front of him, denying him anything he would have wanted to do. Tito gets it to Willis. Now to Dwight. Dwight letting the offense flow. The rest of his teammates. Willis not able to save that. 14-4 is still our tally. As Hokkaido's Tsukasa Nakano will check in. Previous game we covered, Tsukasa Nakano and Kohei Tsukino were starters. Today coming off the bench. So that's the usual backcourt combination. Mito will try to go inside Buva. That's where he really operates. That's where he makes his living. 6 points finally here now for Toyama. Jumper's gonna work. Nice curl from Takano. Instant offense. Leads back up to 10. Foul's going to be called on Takano, his first. That's going to be just the second team foul for Hokkaido. Toyama's got 3. 3:09 remaining. Uto will check in for the first time. Naoki Uto, also a usual starter here. I guess both these coaches trying to spice things up. Good defense there by Willis. Uto. Another reset. Welch to Sekino. Sekino launches and hits. It is now a 13-point advantage at 19-6. Everything clicking right now for Hokkaido. That pass hits the bottom of the board. Will they review this? Well, regardless, 2 free throws coming up here for Nakano. Doesn't look like they're going to be reviewing this one. Yes, they will. Might just be a regular foul. As Mito was trying to go for the ball there, it just looked a little harsher than it actually was. But Mito will take a seat. Interesting to see what the referees will say. Demar Brooks is going to check back in, and it's just a regular foul if I'm not mistaken. Problem for Mito is that's his second personal. We're not going to see him until the midway part of the second quarter. Takano's going to miss his first. Tsukasa Nakano, 26 years old, standing 6'1". Unorthodox routine, but it works. 20-6 is our tally. They just continue to build on this lead. Buva, denied. Nice put back there by Uto. Uto's always around the basket. Not to mention the fact that he's a very tough defender. Nakano launches. Rims out. We finally get it to Miller. Will Miller look for his own shot? No, he won't. Now he tries. He looks for Buva. Buva inside. Foul's going to be called. Quincy Miller playing the creator here for his squad. We're going to see the foul is on Welsh, his first. Ivan knocks down the first free throw. Cuts that lead down to 11. A very low-scoring quarter for Toyama. Just about a minute and a half remaining. We've only got 10 points. So far, Hokkaido has doubled up here on Toyama. Brooks will bring it down. Tito to Brooks. Trying to look inside. Welsh on the outside. Nakano went inside, got it. Easy put back there from Brooks. Nakano just threw it up against the board. And it worked out for his squad. Back up to 12 is their lead. Here's Miller. Trying to get his points. Nakano will try to take the foul. Let's see if it is given to him. Welsh was quickly pointing to Nakano, saying the foul should be given to him. If that went on Welsh, that would have been number 2. It is on Welsh. It is number 2. As the timeout will now be called by Hokkaido. A minute, 5 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. Quincy Miller looking for his first points. That's the first free throw. He does have 4 rebounds and 1 assist. Cleans the rim. Now he's got a total of 2 points. Cutting that lead down to 10. Tito. Push it over now to Willis. Nakano back to Tito. Brooks. Nakano. Willis from 17 feet. Yes! They moved that ball around so well, so quickly. The defense was scrambling. Will they look for a 2-for-1? No, they won't. Like Miller was going to launch there. That will be the second on Nakano. There wasn't too much there. So Nakano will take a seat. Both teams now in the penalty. Tikuna back. Well, Uto did his job. All he wanted to do was make sure that the foul was called, so he heads to the line, but he's going to miss the first free throw. Second on the way. It's down. 24.6 seconds remaining. As Shun Watanuki will check in. The difference of 0.6 shot clock and game clock. Expect Hokkaido to take the last shot here. And the clock down. At the very least, they're up by 11. There's a steal though. They let it go. Clock still running. Shuto pushes it forward. Hurried shot, not gonna drop there for Tsukino. Good end here to the first period for Toyama. Quick steal from Takahashi. He converts. And it's 24-15 after the first. Second quarter is underway here at the HOKKAIDO. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us here for B.LEAGUE action. Ono for three. Yes! That's a great start now to the second period. Coming off that steal and layup, they've cut the lead. Now just down to 6. Toyama making a game out of this one now. Brooks hits. That's gonna stem that rally just a little bit. This is what we like, up and down stuff. Let's see if we're gonna try to get Miller involved. 2-man game, Miller. That's a good sign. Miller burned the hoops over here in the PBA. Tsukino will cop out. Nice find inside. Brooks with the assist. Willis now with 9 points. Check that, Willis with 11 points after that 2. He's back up to 7. Better offense now from both these squads, and Miller posting up, doing the right thing. Had a smaller defender. Went to the post, got the pass. That's a good sign for TOYAMA when Quincy Miller starts to heat up. First personal foul going to be called there on Matsushita. Oh no. They try to attack. Flips it up. Maybe not the best of attacks up against Demond Brooks there. Import against import. They kick it out. Now they reset. Terrazono hits. Leads back up to 9. Perfectly using that screen. That's all he needed. Some confirmation there for Coach Onodera. At the point now, Takahashi. He ended up that first period with a steal. Now he's going to get his pocket picked. Shuto with the left hand converts, and the lead's back up to 11. Miller now will attack. Ooh, he was looking for a 3-point play there. He'll get 2 free throws though. Willis saying I didn't touch him. Foul's going to be called. Let's watch it here. Well, there was some body contact as he made his attack towards the basket. Now Miller with 5 points. Could make it 7 with these 2 free throws. What he used to do in the Philippines is after he took his second free throw, he turned around, knowing it was a swish. Let's see if he does that here as well. Nope, he followed his shot that time. I guess he's not feeling as comfortable. Not yet, at least. 32-23 is our tally. 2 minutes gone in the second. Shooter inside. Brooks will come up short. Willis couldn't hold on to that rebound. Is a review going to be triggered here? Yes, a head coach's challenge. Very early in the ball game. Novar Gadsden getting ready to check in. Well, yes, checked in. Top step move. So when Ono made contact, it already hit the line, so it was out. So they were saying it is either touched last by Gadsden or Willis. It'd be nice to use another angle if we can see that. But the referees do have multiple angles. Here's another one. No, same angle. Did that come off Miller? Willis saying he didn't touch it. It looked like it came off Willis. It definitely hit Willis. Was it also touched? No, it wasn't touched by Gadsden. They're going to win the head coach's challenge there. You want to use your challenge that early. There might be a really critical play somewhere down the line. Gadsden, that's not good spacing. Gadsden forces the issue. Cuffed out by the ring. Here comes Willis. Nice steal by Brooks. Can't lay it up though. Oh no. Miller. Couple of moves. Nothing there. Good defense there by Brooks. Brooks now trying to trigger the offense. 3 minutes gone in the second. Still a 9-point lead by Hokkaido. Shoot over 3. Yes! It's going to increase the lead back up to 12. And the fans here, the HOKKAIDO, loving every minute of it so far. Starting point guard, Takashi Ito. Back in for Toyama. Go inside of Miller. Miller's a 3-level scorer. He can hit from just about anywhere. Hits there, he's got 9 points. Sekino. Willis. They're the outside again. As Thomas Wells gets ready to check into the ball game. Not the best of shots there for Brooks. Gadsden. Why not look for Miller? Miller. Yes! When Miller heats up, he can hit 5, 6, 7 straight. He's got 2 in a row from the outside. And the lead's been cut down to 7. Shuto. Inside, power dribble. Ooh, no foul called. Good defense there. So Troy Murphy Jr. has been sent in. Together with Ivan Buva. That's the matchup I think Toyama really wants to have. When Welsh is in there, they need to send in Ivan Buva. They can cancel each other out. Dwight Ramos from the wing, yes! Hardly had an angle to work with, but it was enough. First basket here for Dwight. Murphy will come up short. Everybody stopped there except for Dwight. Dwight on the run. Up high, Willis glides a little bit too strong. But he'll get fouled. Ten-point lead. 4:54 still to be played here in the first half as we get to this official timeout. First free throw for Willis is good. Willis is having a very good scoring night. 11 points, 5 rebounds. He had the first 7 of the 9 points of Hokkaido. Got him off to a good start. Takes the 2 free throws there. Let's see what Ito can do at the point. He's been quite shaky here, especially in the first period. Foul's going to be called inside. Look at that battle inside by the bigs. Ivan Buva, standing only 6'9", up against the 7-foot Thomas Welsh. But Buva is wide. Welsh picks up his second personal foul, so he's going to have to be replaced here. Now this is a chance for Buva to go wild. Offensive foul is going to be called on Miller. Actually, he didn't have to run over the defender that time. First personal foul. Nakano looks okay. Nakano, the starting point, is back. Ready with Dwight in the backcourt. Ramos left open for 3. That rattles out. Ramos, so far, just 1 3-pointer. Buva. That was a very tight pass. Toyama was actually lucky Buva got that. Shimatani will pick up the personal. His first personal foul. Hokkaido in the penalty. Let's see if Miller tries to take advantage. Couple of moves, steps back. That's the best of shots. Dwight will kick it out. Nakano. Willis will just launch. Short from 18 feet. Why not go inside to Buva? Yes, they do. There's a quick double. That's going to rim out. Good defense once again by the boys in green. And they're in the attack. To the wing. Ramos inside. Easy layup and a foul to boot. 3-point play in the offing for Dwight Ramos. Watch it once again. Slicing to the middle. Murphy was saying there was no contact. Foul's going to be given, and a timeout will be called by Toyama. 3 minutes, 18 seconds remaining before the halftime break. And look inside to Buva. There's a triple team against Ivan. But Ito's still trying to force the issue there. Well, I guess that's the play. Come on, Brooks. Yeah, pretty good job there against Ivan. Ivan comes out. Ito for 3. (42-31). Simatani. Waiting for movement. As Willis coming up on top. Couple of moves. That's not going to drop there. Little misdirection. Didn't work as Brooks can't score. Here's Ivan. They send a quick double. Murphy. Shot clock down to 6. Ito's going to have to put this one up. Finds Buva. Buva will miss. Gets it back once again. He had a phalanx of defenders there, and a foul will be called. Stopping the action. That's a pretty good foul. That time from Nozaki. Yoshiyuki Nozaki with his first personal foul. Stopping the fast break. But that's going to put his squad in the penalty now as well. With 2:06 still to be played. Simatani almost lost it. Can't find a friend. Gets it over to Dwight. Dwight with the attack. Flips it up. Short. Miller with the board. Maybe a stoppage of play here. Not exactly sure what transpired there. The technical foul is going to be called on the coach. As you can see him quickly going over to the referee, asking for a foul to be called. It's quite surprising though. Uto trying to get confirmation. So Coach Daisuke scratching his head. Hey, I was just trying to point something out. Maybe he didn't point it out in the nicest of terms. Inside, big slam there from Murphy. Wow, what an athletic move from Troy Murphy Jr., the 20-year-old. Watch it once again. Gets past Dwight, elevates. What a poster. And he had 2 imports, Willis and Brooks, in that shot. A minute 30 remains. The timeout going to be called by Hokkaido. Looking to complete the three-point play, Troy Murphy Jr. Just can't though. Are they going to give him a replacement free throw? Entering the lane too early? Or they're going to call a foul on Brooks as he pushed off a little bit too hard there on Ivan Buva. That's going to give Buva 2 free throws. This could be a 4-point play. So Buva now on the line. Seconds gonna drop. 43-35 is our tally. A minute and a half to be played. Dwight on the outside, Chimatani. In the lane, the floater, no. Brooks is there, he gets fouled. Brooks takes up a lot of space inside as well. Two free throws, trying to reestablish some order. Brooks makes the first. (44-35). Trying to bring it back to a 10-point lead. Nope. Buva there with a rebound. Buva. Almost lost it. Eventually does. Cat-like quickness there from Demond Brooks. Willis puts up a three. Bang! That's a good sign here for Toyama. Trying to get involved. It's Quincy Miller. He has not had too many attempts, but he still got 14 points. Difference of about 3 seconds in the game clock and the shot clock. Willis hits another one. Back-to-back threes. And the lead is back up to 13. Does Ito realize it? I don't think he does. Buva puts it up. That's short. Not realizing the clock was winding down. And after 2 quarters here at the HOKKAIDO, it's a 13-point lead enjoyed by Hokkaido. You're now watching some of the highlights of the first 2 quarters of play. All of that coming here from the HOKKAIDO as LEVANGA HOKKAIDO is hosting TOYAMA here this Saturday afternoon. First quarter worked out very well for the squad of Hokkaido as they scored 24 points, limiting TOYAMA to just 15. Actually, they scored their 5 points in the last minute. Heading into the last minute of play, only 10 points for TOYAMA. They got things going, especially here with a steal. That would end the first period. And then Quincy Miller started to go to work. Quincy Miller would finish the half with 14 points. He would average close to 30 points a ball game in the PBA. In the PBA, of course, you have a lone import. Here in the B.LEAGUE, you got 3 world imports sharing the load. Shuto Terrazono knocks that one down. Coming off the bench, he was able to add 5 points. Here's Miller once again. One of the main stories, really, for TOYAMA is just too many turnovers. They had 10 turnovers as compared to just 1 for Hokkaido. Can you imagine that? As Dwight Ramos there hits that 3. 1 turnover in the entire first half as Dwight Ramos gets to the rack. Basket and 1 opportunity there. Troy Murphy with a highlight there of his own. Gets past Dwight. Slams it over Willis and Damon Brooks. Brooks with a steal. Shimatani pushes it forward. And then Willis knocks down that 3. Quincy Miller with an easy slam there. As we break down the numbers from 2-point field goal range, you can see 47% shooting by Levanga Hokkaido as compared to just 38% for TOYAMA. From 3-point distance, much better was TOYAMA, though they shot 3 threes less than Hokkaido did. 7 out of 14 for Hokkaido, 4 out of 7 for TOYAMA. There were the turnover numbers, 1 against 10. When you look at the 14-2, actually those are points off turnovers. So again, Hokkaido doing much better there. 14 apiece, points in the paint, so that really levels out. As we have the scoring leaders for Levanga Hokkaido. Their top 3 scorers, 19 points for Willis, 7 points for Terrazono, and 5 points for Brooks. And also 5 points for Dwight Ramos. Nakano's got 4 coming off the bench as well. There's Shuto on your screens. Looking at the rebounding numbers. 6 boards for Willis as well. And 3 apiece for Brooks and for Ramos. Scoring leaders for TOYAMA. Miller's got 14. Ivan Buva coming off the bench with 6. And 3 each for Ono, Uto, and Ito. Rebounding numbers for the boys in white and red. 7 for Ivan Buva. 6 for Quincy Miller. And Uto's got 1. In the assist department, Shimatani's got 6 assists. 3 dimes for Terrazono and 2 for Welsh. 2 apiece for Ono and Gadsden and 1 for Mito for TOYAMA. As you can see, the foul trouble. Welsh has got 3. Nakano and Willis with 2. So Welsh, the only one really in foul trouble. He's going to start out here against Ivan Buva. Sakurai. To Welsh. Let's see how aggressive Welsh can be. Off the boards. Nice kiss coming from Shimatani. Just enough power to get it off the glass and down and through. Now a 15-point lead here at 52-37. Nice reply, TOYAMA. Gotta trade baskets at least early on and then try to make a push. Ramos to Welsh. That's gonna get kicked out. One and done that time for the boys in green. Tito. Inside to Buva. That's behind the back pass. Troy Murphy gets denied, but Ramos will be called for the foul there. He felt it was clean. Looking up at the screen there to see just how clean it was from his point. Good recovery. But there's definitely a lot of body contact down low. No question about that. First personal foul on Dwight. Murphy smiling, saying, "You didn't get me that time." These two gentlemen were the most athletic in the league. Troy Murphy at the line. Dwight Ramos there. A while ago with the foul. That's what Murphy's got to work on though. His free throw shooting. He couldn't complete the 3-point play a while ago. And now, he misses that first. Got a good stroke. Just needs to polish it a little bit more. Novar Ganson is going to start out the second half on the bench. It's Miller and Buva for the boys in white. Sakurai to the wing. Nice look inside. Willis, you want to take it. Now he'll have to take it from 16 feet. That rims out. Miller. Miller's always looking for his shot. Attacks inside. Easy two. Now he's going to work. He's got 16 points. Sakurai will launch. Back rim. Another rebound here for Quincy. Quincy attacks once again. Up and under move. Not going to drop. Shimatani racing down court. Faster than everybody else. Willis fouled. Heading to the line for 2 shots. You like the fact that Shimatani is just trying to push the pace. Get an easy shot for his bigs. Right inside, finds Willis. And Willis will be fouled. Really body contact there. From number 20. That's Kensuke Ueda. From the line. Lead is at 11. Here's Murphy once again. Murphy tries to explode to the basket. Shimatani, active hands, gets a steal. And a foul's going to be called there on Ito. .30 still to be played here in the second half, only in the third quarter. Misfiring from the outside there. Starting to find blanks from 3-point distance is the home squad. Ito finds Miller. Miller won't get it back. I think Miller. But they're going to say Shimatani was already out of bounds. Handoff went right back to him. Oh, that was a good save. Yes, it was. Initially, it looked like Shimatani stepped on the baseline. Dwight, long two. A little bit too strong. Miller, another rebound. Miller has helped control the boards for his squad. Another turnover. 3-on-2 break. Ramos finishes. And there's a foul to boot against Ito. 3-on-2 fast break. A lot of times you just give them the layup. They already had numbers. Watch it here. Ramos triggered that steal. And he finishes the fast break. Plus gets the foul from Ito. Talk about Miller on the boards. He now has 8. And the timeout will be called here by Toyama as they now trail by 13. There you can see the scoring leaders. Willis with 20, 7 apiece for Ramos and Terrazono. Shuto has not yet played here in the second half. So all those points in the first 2 quarters of play. And all of that coming off the bench. Ramos looking to get to 8 points with his extra free throw. Converts. Lead is now 14. Nito pushes it forward. And they're going to say it's a backcourt violation. And yet another turnover. Turnover number 14. And Hokkaido just still with 1. Talk about taking care of the basketball. Ramos using the pick. Wells with 3 inside. They didn't find him. Willis will come up short though. Had to throw that one up. Shot clock is winding down. Again, active hands that time from Sakurai. Taps it out. Swarming defense, especially inside that paint. Novar Gadze will check in. This is one individual that can create a shot for himself. Ono also in. Three's not going to work. That was actually a good line. Buba will occasionally take that 3. Got that range. It's not as consistent as some of the other world imports. Chance of Levanga as Dwight Ramos will come up short on that 3. Steal by Welsh. Willis from the side. That rims out. Shimatani with a steal from the back. Buba trying to play point. Will pay the price. Easy slam there by Willis. And now, Toyama again needs this timeout. Things just not going their way. Back to the action here. Just about 5.5 remaining. Another turnover. Sakurai gets that easy layup. It is now an 18-point bubble. Just too many turnovers here for the boys in white. Sakurai there. Dwight Ramos already with 2 steals. That's a perfect pass. Sakurai is going to pick up a second personal foul though. That's why he's been replaced. Gadsden tries to attack against Dwight Ramos, and we're going to say he stepped in the baseline. Another turnover. That's turnover number 17 as compared to just 1 for Hokkaido. That has been the real difference here. Half a quarter gone. And to make this an even 20-point lead. It's the home squad. Dwight wants to make it 21. A little bit too strong. Willis with the offensive rebound. Kimatani to Willis. How do you use some clock? Nice spin there by Dwight. Overshoots. Welsh. And they're going to say, let's jump it up. Possession arrow will point here to the visiting squad. They caught a break there. That could have easily been a 20-point lead. Quincy Miller's going to check back in. They need his firepower, especially now that they're trailing by 18. Nito in the ball game. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half. Miller inside. He gets fouled. Miller has not had that much success with his inside incursions. He did get fouled a few times. No 3-point play in the offering yet here. Brooks picks up a personal there. Miller swishes at first. Takes care of the second as well. 60-44 now is our tally. Pick me in the ball game. Aquino goes inside, rifles a pass, and Brooks converts. How did Sekino get that pass all the way into Brooks? Leads back up to 18 again. Nito. Always there in the passing lanes of Hokkaido. Now they've got 2 turnovers. Only 2 turnovers and almost 3 quarters done. On the other side, 17 already. To the visiting squad. 4th shot not gonna work. Willis with the rebound. Pushes it up. We've got numbers once again. Takahashi did his job that time. Defensively at least. Kiko Tarazona has checked in. That's going to add a lot more speed to this squad. Not to mention shooting. Puts up a 3, hits. The lead is now 21 at 65-44. Hokkaido wants to make easy work of their opponents in the 4th period. Still 3 minutes to be played here though. Long two for Miller, no. Tito brings it down and says, let's set things up. Trying to put this game away as early as the third. Nakano's floater. That was a fishing expedition the entire way. And the foul is going to be called there, no VAR. Only the second personal of no VAR. Two free throws here. Tsukasa makes the first. The fans have had so much to cheer for here at the HOKKAIDO. Splitting the line, Miller another rebound. Miller now with a double-double at 18 points, 10 boards. Nico can't take advantage of that size mismatch. Miller, a couple of moves. Gets that one to drop. Leads down to 20. Only 2 minutes to be played here in the third. A dominating performance here to start the second half for Hokkaido. Miller for three. Yes. Quick timeout's going to be called here by Coach Onodera. He sees that suddenly beating up his Miller, and he can't let that happen. Back to the action. There's about a minute and a half remaining here in the third. Ishito once again goes to the wing. Sekino inside. That is what Mika really brings. A whole lot of hustle. First to the floor. He's going to get them another possession. $66-49 is our tally. Third personal foul going to be called there. Not a jump ball situation. A foul will be called on Brooks. So 3 fouls on Brooks, 3 fouls on Thomas Wells. Here's Gadson. That's a nice spin, and a foul's going to be called on Willis. That will be number 2 on Darrell. Watch it again. Series of moves there. Novar hits the deck. Maybe too strong on that first free throw. Free throw numbers for Toyama. They're now 12 out of 16. On the other side, that's one of the things that Levanga has not done well. Only shot 62% from the 15-foot line. They're 10 out of 16. So 6 misses already. But despite that, they're still up by 16. Under a minute to be played here in the third. That's not a good foul. Coach Onodera studying the situation. Coming back in is Koyo Takahashi. Tsukasa on the line. First drop. Nakano now with 6 points. He also has 1 assist. One of the youngsters there you saw on your screens. That's Terochika Naito, number 34. Chance of defense works. With a sidestepping move. Willis gets his own miss, puts it through, and the lead's back up to 19. Koyo playing point. He's a big point guard at 6'2". Takes his move, couple of spins. Miller with a slam. That was very close to a 3-second violation as Miller now with 25 points. So Brooks, unfortunately, would have to be replaced after that foul. Some decision-making time here for Coach Onodera. .6 remaining. Both teams in the penalty. Brooks is going to be in the freezer for quite a while. Check that. That's his 5th. He had 4, now he's got 5. (69-53). Ramos will bring this up. Last attempt is what they're going to be looking for. Last time we said that it was a turnover. Led by Koyo. Shuto takes the last shot, not going to drop. But nonetheless, heading into the 4th and final period, it's a pretty sizable lead by Hokkaido at 69-53. So there's confirmation. Brooks is out. Willis with 3. Welsh with 3. That is something that the boys in white, the Toyama Grouses, can try to take advantage. If they can get the fourth on either Willis or Welsh, they might be sent to the bench. And then you're going to have 2 world imports against 1. No Asia Kota import though. For the squad of Toyama, AJ Edu still out. Ramos kicks it out. Willis for 3. A little bit too strong. Koyo picks it up. Will get it back. Why not send it to one of their best creators? A little bit too strong that time though. Shuto inside. Willis gets away from a triple team. See, they try to go back to Gadsden. Or they try to look for Ivan Buva inside. Ono finds Buva. Buva tries to push his way inside, scores. That's really just token defense put up here. Nothing Welsh can do. 71-55. Ramos for 3. Yes! Dwight Ramos with his second 3. That's going to bring the lead back up to 19 as he's got a total of 11 points here this afternoon. A couple of season highs. We'll talk to you about that in a bit. Buva will come up short. Welsh does his job defensively. And the foul's going to be called on Koyo. Welsh asking for an unsportsmanlike foul. The officials will decide and discuss. Right now, Quincy Miller with a season-high 26 points. And Daryl Willis Jr. also with 26 points, which is also a season-high. They're going to study this one. Well, that's what Welsh was asking for. And he saw it. That was right in front of him. But trying to make a play for the ball was Koyo. Let's see how they deem it. Players will do that. It's not a swipe at the body, it's a swipe at the ball. And sometimes if you're quick enough, you can actually make contact with the ball and get a steal. Again, it all depends on the interpretation of the referees. Let's see what they say. Ooh! Okay. He was definitely going for the ball. Second personal foul. This is going to be a big one, because it's going to be 2 free throws plus ball possession. And it's already a 19-point advantage. Koyo will sit. There are 2 of the new additions on the squad here of Hokkaido. Not quite sure they're going to see action though. 2 shots down. Well, if this lead continues to swell, maybe we might see these 2 youngsters. 76-55. Nice handoff. Terazon is going to come up short though. So Buba did his job. There's no space for Uto. Mito with a jumper. No. 2 minutes gone here in the 4th. Willis asking for it. Kick ball there from Uto. focusing on two youngsters, well, we just might see them in the ball game. We're talking about Tatsuhiro Abe and also number 34, Hirochika Naito. Kuto to the wing. Nakano for three, a little bit too strong. Buva with the rebound. Ono for three, yes! Badly needed shot here by Toyama. Couple of oohs and ahs, not going down though. Chance to cut into this lead, no. Ramos to the rebound. We're going to try to use some clock. We do have a big advantage at 18. Clock not yet a factor though. Pocket pass. That was a turnover. Should have been a turnover, but it falls into the hands of Willis. Nice block there. Uto's asking for a goaltend. Officials saying no, it was clean. Ramos falling away, that's gonna drop. Dwight Ramos having a very good scoring night. He's got 13 points. Dwight Ramos all over the place. Looking at a turnover story, 18 turnovers already for Toyama, just 4 for Hokkaido. For Gadson has really struggled here today. Gadson so far with just 3 points. He does have 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Buva overshoots. No hurried shots here from Hokkaido. Looking for the best shot available. Open three. Not the best of shots there from Matsushita. Gadson and company need to make their move. Novar inside. Misfiring. A little bit too strong. Another rebound there by Welch. Here's Dwight. Dwight, nice lob. The lob just a little bit too strong there for Willis. Quick foul going to be called there. Sometimes that could be called an unsportsmanlike foul, what Utah just did. But they're not going to review this one. 5.5 still to be played. Commanding 20-point lead enjoyed here by the hosts. Toyama's got to send in Quincy Miller. Especially with Gadson firing blanks. The pass from Buva a little bit too late. Utah got in the way. Wells tips it in. Wells will get 2 points and also get 2 rebounds in that particular sequence. And the lead is back up to 22. Time about to become a factor here. Kuto gets fouled. That's going to bring us to this official timeout first. 80 for Hokkaido, 58 for Toyama. You cannot afford those misses. And out of this stage, when you're down by 22, time is running out. Toyama is at 3-21 to start the season. 2 misses. Uto's gonna get the miss though. He's got another possession. But they've got to score. And Buva does. Cuts that lead to 20. That might be a delay of game. Uto doing everything he possibly can to try to will his team back here. We're going to call a second personal foul on Ivan. Buva will hit the bench. Shuto to convert that. $81.60 is our tally. At this stage, 4.5 still to be played. Mathematically, it's going to be very close. Very close to being a one-ball game, is what I'm trying to say. Some more numbers for you. 9 assists is the season high for Ren Shimatani as Shuto hits. Tap out. Goes still to Hokkaido. Ramos flips it up. Will misfire. Uto all the way, gets denied. They go inside to the big man, Welsh. Gets fouled. Yoneyama is in the ball game for the very first time. That's number 44, Ed Java Yoneyama. The 21-year-old standing 6'3". There is Novar Gadsden on your screens. I'm quite surprised they still don't have Quincy Miller back in the ball game. I guess they figure 21 points, the ball game's done. Let's rest our main scorer as we want to have him fresh for tomorrow. As these two teams square off once again. Welsh misses badly in the second free throw. Under 4 minutes remaining here. The boys in green content to not even have to score anymore. Almost a steal by Shuto. Forced shot. And Ozaki will head to the line for 3 free throws. They're going to rest Welsh. Well, they need him for tomorrow, that's for sure. As they try to make it back-to-back here in their matchup against Toyama. These are the matches that you need to win. These are the matches that are imperative. You get the W. You cannot lose to a team that is lower than you in the standings if you want to be able to come back. Daniel Dan Nana coming in for the first time. 6'6", 26-year-old. Very athletic. Two out of 3. Nana with the rebound. And now Shuto. And actually just use the clock here. Try to just protect this 19-point edge. Willis. Will attack inside. And he led to the line for 2 shots. The lone import here on the floor for the squad of Hokkaido. So Damon Brooks is fouled out. Thomas Welsh being rested for tomorrow's affair. Likewise with Dwight Ramos. So already thinking about tomorrow's encounter. 27 points in the ball game here. I think one of the main reasons why he's in the ball game is because we talked about him having a season high. It's a career day. Why not? Let him get as many as he can. And now he'll be lifted. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll be back. 3:10 remaining. And it's a 1-ball game by Levanga Hokkaido. They're trying to look ahead to tomorrow's ball game. Now you have Thomas Wells coming back in just to really anchor the defense, but their main scorer, who they hope picks up where he leaves off in tomorrow's affair, is Gail Willis, who's now sent to the bench. Chuka just holding on to this. Don't go away. After this ball game, we're going to get to listen to Coach Ryotaro Onadera and some of the stars of this win by Levanga Hokkaido. Two minutes and change. Layup is not going to happen there for Yoneyama. He had the clear lane. And again, Shuta says we've got 24 seconds to burn. Let's use every single second. Nice flip. And scoring once again is the big man, Thomas Welsh. Nice move by Uto. (85-64) is our tally. Here comes one of the youngsters. That's number 34, Teruchika Naito. I wouldn't be surprised if they send in Tatsuhiro Abe as well. Why not? Getting some valuable playing time. Though I'm not quite sure it's going to be as valuable as you might think. Nice look inside. Yes. Daniel Danana can't get it to drop. eventually will lose it. But you can see the court sense from Naito. He got that ball, quickly saw the mismatch. Daniel Danana baby that one. And here's the other youngster, Abe. 17 years of age. Both teams in the penalty. Foul be called on Watanuki, the veteran, 35 years old. Still down is Sakurai. So 2 free throws coming up here. Boy, this guy really looks 17. Actually, he'd pass for 15. Brief powwow there on the sideline. As the officials trying to sort things out. They're going to review this one. Not quite sure they need to. Both players hit the deck. So 2 free throws coming up here for Naoki Uto. People are asking how old Teruchika Naito is. Well, the answer is he's also 17. So what happens at the latter part of the year, teams are allowed to get some players that are still in school to give them a chance to experience what it is to be a pro. And now look at the baptism of fire here for Abe. It's a nice find in the wing. Kicking it off the glass. Watanuki will score. Performing quite well. Abe Naito. Two possible future stars of Japanese basketball. Almost a steal there from Naito. (87-65). They've had no ties in this ball game. Hokkaido quickly got off their 4-0 lead, made it 72, and off another steal here. Why not go for the shot? Uto wants his team to be able to score here. Nice rebound there by Abe. And he'll dribble this one out. It will be win number 7 for Levanga Hokkaido this season. And they'll win this one 87-65. They even had the chance to get some of their youngsters involved as we have a new season high for Darrell Willis Jr. Willis is starter. He'll finish with 28 points. He also had 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. And the two youngsters, the two 17-year-olds, get a big hug from Thomas Welsh. Dwight Ramos contributed with 13 points. He also had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, also 2 steals. Great all-around ball game. There's Naito on your screens. 17 years young. Well, the squad of Hokkaido can really enjoy themselves as we say thank you and good afternoon to the Toyama Grouses. Novar Gadsden, disappointing afternoon for him. Quincy Miller, though, with a season high, albeit in a loss. He would finish with 26 in only 25 minutes of action. Now we're just getting ready to talk to Coach Ryotaro Onodera. We're all set. Let's hear from Coach.
さあそれでは早速コーチにお話を伺ってまいりましょう。2連勝になりました。おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
今日の試合結果的にですね22点差という大量点差で勝利となりましたけれども振り返ってください。
はい、まずは年末のお忙しい時にこれだけたくさんの方がこう期待に、応援に来ていただいて本当にありがとうございます。おかげで選手最後まで頑張ることができました。本当にありがとうございます。
今日の勝利ポイントとなった点はヘッドコーチからどんなふうにご覧になってますか？
そうですね、前回の京都戦と日曜日と同じスタートのラインナップで、トライして、まずは自分たちディフェンスで富山さんの強みであるやはり個のアドバンテージというのを出させないように自分たちで、富山さんよりもファイトしようとオフェンスではなくディフェンスという話をしてて、それをやはりスタートの5人がしっかりいいスタートの3分間頑張ろうという話をしててそこでまずは5人がしっかりファイトしてくれていいスタートが切れたというのが非常に大きかったかなと考えています。
ただ試合内容早い段階でトーマス選手が3つのファウルを受けてということで苦しかった面もあったかと思いますがいかがですか？
そうですね、やはりブバ選手のところでファウルっていうのはある程度自分たちも覚悟していた部分だったんですけどもちょっと早いタイミングでファウルトラブルになってしまって、デモンの退場も含めてやはり自分たちが、コントロールできない、部分に少しフォーカスしてしまった時間帯もあったのでそういう部分をもっともっと自分たちに、向けて自分たちにフォーカスをして何をやらなければいけないのかっていうのをもっともっとコートの中で、やらなければいけなかったっていうのが今日の修正点の一つかなと考えています。
さあそして試合終盤には阿部選手と内藤選手出ましたね。この2人に対する期待、今日の試合の、振り返りも含めてお願いします。
はい、2人には本当にいい、チャンスというかやっぱりこのコートでできるっていうのはすごくこれからのステップアップにしてもすごく大きい経験だと思うのでそれをやっぱり作り出した38分間頑張った、選手たち、そしてコートに立って内藤と阿部の2人もしっかりパフォーマンスしてくれたので非常にいい雰囲気でまた明日のゲーム臨めるかなと考えています。
So Coach Onodera started out by saying thank you so much to all the
さ
supporters
て
and fans
綿貫選手も
for
復
being
帰し
here
て非常に
to
ねラインナッ
end
プ
the
が
year of
こうベンチ層が
2023.
熱くなったイメージがありますが
He said they did a good job defensively and they controlled the
は
turnovers,
い
which
そう
they
ですね
did.
ベ
Remember,
ン
in
チ
the
すごく
first
人
half
数
of
多くて
play,
僕も
he only had one
誰がどこにいるの
turnover.
かわからないような状況だったんですけども、また明日もっともっと今日以上に富山さんアグレッシブに来ると思うのでタフなゲームになると思います。なので本当にこう皆さんの声援、今日本当に力になって先週もそうですけどもいつもやっぱりこう僕らすごくファンの皆さんの前で、いいプレーしようと頑張るので、また明日たくさんの皆さんとこの北エールで、また年末最後のゲームで勝利を分かち合って、いい年を迎えられるようにしたいのでまた明日会場でお会いできるのを楽しみにしています。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。小野寺ヘッドコーチでした。大きな拍手をお願いします。では続いてヒーローインタビューです。本日ヒーローに選ばれたのはこの選手です。ナンバー
Well, he
21
ended up by saying thank you
Jr.
to Naito and Abe because they came in and they had a good 2 minutes on the floor. And he asked the fans to please support them again for their final game of the year tomorrow, right here at the Hokkaido Kita-Edu. And now we've got today's hero, Darryl Willis Jr.
.さあそれではダラル選手にもお話を伺っていきましょう。今のお気持ちはどうですか？
I feel great. One more game into New Year's. We got it done. Hopefully we can get it done tomorrow.
今の気持ちは最高です。明日もまた、今年最後の試合があるのでまた応援お願いします。
今の気分は最高ですか？
Namada Psycho.
さあ今日はですねダラル選手はなんとポイントリーダーとなります28得点11リバウンドダブルダブルという結果いかがでしょう？
My teammates was actually finding me in the great spots, and I was just completing what my teammates was helping me out. So thanks to them.
まず自分のスタッツはチームメイトがみんなで、戦ってくれてその上であってチームメイトチームに感謝してます。
そしてプレータイムもチームで一番長い35分30秒どうですか？疲れはないですか？
Exhausted.
疲れてます。
でもどうでしょうこの大きな声援その疲れも吹っ飛ぶんじゃないですか？
Yes. We love it. We really thank you guys for coming to support us. Continue to support. It means everything to us. Thank you guys. Arigato.
ファンの方々も今日もありがとうございました。いつも応援、よく聞こえてます。明日もあるのでまた応援お願いします。ありがとう。
さあ今日はですね MVP 賞があります。冠スポンサーでございます株式会社エアドゥ様より MVP 賞といたしましてエアドゥ札幌東京間往復航空券そして副賞としてベアドゥのぬいぐるみが贈られます。プレゼンターは株式会社エアドゥ代表取締役社長鈴木貴弘様です。お願いいたします。MVP はダラル・ウィルス・ジュニア選手でした。ありがとうございました。そしてプレゼンターの鈴木様もありがとうございました。さあ続きまして本日はエアドゥ賞がございます。エアドゥ賞といたしまして航空機モデルプレーが贈られます。本日のエアドゥ賞はこの方です。No.15 島谷レン プレゼンターは引き続き株式会社エアドゥ代表取締役社長鈴木貴弘様です。おめでとうございます。鈴木様ありがとうございました。では島谷選手も一言ねお話を伺っていこうと思います。さて今日の島谷選手は9アシスト5ポイントということで、スタートから出ておりまして16分17秒の出場でした。今日の試合を振り返ってください。
今日の試合を振り返ってディフェンスからいい試合、自分たちの流れを持ってこれたんで良かったです。
試合途中には常に狙っているというスクープショットが1本決まりましたね。
いや、あれはレイアップですね。1本目に打ったハーフタイムにみんなに言われたんですけど、ちょっとふざけたシュートがスクープショットかなと思います。
明日何本ぐらい見せてくれますか？
はい、もう一回です。
明日は何本ぐらい見せてくれますか？スクープショット。
明日は多くまず決めれるように、頑張ります。
ありがとうございました。エアドゥ賞は島谷蓮選手でした。ありがとうございました。では続きましてロッカイスプレゼンツオンファイヤー賞の発表です。バスケットライブの応援機能であるファイヤーを今日の試合で最も集めたレバンガ北海道の選手にはロッカイスプレゼンツオンファイヤー賞としましてオフィシャルパートナー回転寿司トリトン様より1万円分のお食事券が贈られます。本日最もブースターの皆様から応援を集めたのはこの方です。
Was actually just very short in
10番
explaining what he
184
wanted to say. He said, first of all, he did a very good job defensively. He had a nice game. And he's just hoping that they do well again tomorrow to end the year on a high note. It would be nice to be able to end the year with back-to-back wins. But as we mentioned, he finished with 9 assists, which is a season high for Ren. Now we have this guy, Mr. Quality Minutes. He was definitely on fire when he checked in. That's Shuto Terazono.
さあそれでは寺園選手にもねお話を伺っていきたいと思います。今日は本当に皆さんからファイヤーたくさん集めましたけども、振り返ってみてどのプレーが大きかったかなというふうに感じますか？
いや、僕のプレーというよりか今日多分大きかったのはスタートで出たメンバーがゲームを作ってくれたことだと思うので、その5人がすごいいい配慮をしてくれたので良かったかなと思います。
ただ今日の寺園選手22分28秒の出場で13ポイント、アシストも6ありました。もう点取り屋と言っていいんじゃないですか？
いや、点取り屋ではないと思うんですけど、やっぱりガードとして自分で打つところと味方を生かすところの判断がまだまだだと自分でも思っているので、しっかりと明日は切り替えてまたいいプレーをしたいなと思います。
おめでとうございます。本日のオンファイヤー賞は寺園選手でした。続きましてレブニーズプレゼンツファーストシュートチャレンジの発表です。今日の試合で一番最初の得点する選手を当てるイベントですが、今日のファーストシュートチャレンジは見事初得点、ナンバー40トーマス・ウェルシュ選手です。ウェルシュ選手へ投票していただいた方の中から抽選で選ばれた1名の方にはオフィシャルパートナーレブニーズ様より海鮮セットが贈られます。
Shuto Terazono also very quick in his statements. He said, thank you to my teammates. I will continue to work hard and to produce another good game.
ありがとう
Hopefully
ございました。
a
じゃあ
victory
トーマ
tomorrow.
ス選手にも一言
Ooh, some
お
food
話
here
を聞きたい
with
と
the
思
big
い
man
ます。
Thomas Welsh.
トーマス選手、明日年内最後の試合です。意気込みを聞かせてください。
Let's finish strong. I hope to see you guys all here tomorrow. Thank you for your support tonight and all season long, and let's finish this year strong.
まず応援ありがとうございました。明日も強く勝ち切って終わりたいです。応援お願いします。
ありがとうございました。トーマス・ウェルシュ選手でした。さあ続きまして先日レバンガ北海道 U18 のユース育成特別枠としてレバンガ北海道に選手登録、本日の試合よりベンチ入り、そしてプレーもいたしました ナンバー13、阿部達弘選手、ナンバー34、内藤輝親選手のお二人にお話を伺っていきます。お二人はどうぞ前の方へお越しください。それでは阿部選手から自己紹介をお願いしたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
皆さんこんにちは。今シーズンからユース育成特別枠として、登録されることになりました阿部達弘です。今日はレバンガスタッフの皆様のおかげとチームメイトとそして、応援してくれた方皆様のおかげでB1 デビューすることができました。今日は結果を残すことはできなかったんですが、しっかり自分自身もっと成長してコート上で自分の持っているものをしっかり発揮して少しでもチームに貢献したいと思っています。これからもよろしくお願いします。応援ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。では内藤選手お願いします。
はい、この度ユース育成特別枠で登録されました内藤輝親です。個人的に今年いろいろ怪我とかあったりとかいろんなところに行かせてもらってちょっと遅れてしまったんですけど、こうやって登録された以上、ベンチに入る限り、少しでも自分の成長になるようにやっていきたいなと思うので応援よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。ブースターの皆様、阿部選手、内藤選手の全力応援よろしくお願いします。ではここでお誕生日のお祝いをしたいと思います。13番の阿部達弘選手、34番内藤輝親選手、そして武田智弘トレーナー、皆さん前までお願いします。阿部選手2006年12月24日生まれ17歳になりました。内藤選手2006年1月11日生まれ18歳になります。そして武田トレーナー本日お誕生日29歳です。おめでとうございます。ケーキはオフィシャルパートナーでございます若祭の本舗様よりご提供いただきました。
And he just said that he was pleased to be here in the B League. This is a very nice experience and he definitely will get better.
ハッピーバースデー。高橋選手
promised to play better the next game. He didn't play too bad here. He was actually given only a minute and a half on the floor. He did quite well.
じゃあしゅんさんと歌いますハッピーバースデー。
Congratulations to these two
はい、で
youngsters.
は名前を呼ばれた
playing
方は
very
ど
well
う
here
ぞ
in their
前の
first
方へ
outing
出
in the
て
B League.
綿貫選手と一緒ですね。はい。さあそれでは3人でハッピーバースデーよろしくお願いいたします。
Happy birthday to you. Happy
And now some
birthday
birthday celebrations.
Happy birthday dear Happy birthday to you.
皆さんありがとうございました。阿部選手、内藤選手、武田トレーナーおめでとうございます。では最後にこの3人で今日はレバンガビクトリーやっていただくことにしましょう。会場の皆さん、この2人の選手と武田トレーナーにはですねレバンガビクトリーと大きな声で言っていただきます。その他の選手の皆さん、来場者の皆さんはレバンガのところで L サイン、ビクトリーで V サインを作ってください。さあそれではいいですか。3人でいいですか。いいですか。練習しておきますか。レバンガの L は右手上ですよ。右手上。そうそうそう。でビクトリーね。はい。いけそうですか。いきましょう。お願いします。
レバンガ
ビクトリー。
阿部選手、内藤選手、武田トレーナーありがとうございました。
Well, that was the victory sign there for Levanga Hokkaido as they pick up another victory here. Victory number 7 as they improve their record to 7-18 overall. Let's now look at some of the highlights of the match that just transpired. Enjoy it. Hokkaido started off strong. They led 4-0, 7-2, 9-2, 14-2. Built it all the way up to 20-6. That was in the first half. Everybody scoring there. Shimatani with one of his 9 assists. Just too many turnovers here. And Shuto Terrazono converting there on that layup. He came in and he had instant 5 points, including that 3 you just witnessed. Quincy Miller with a season high 26 points today, though he did not see action in the fourth. Shimatani, another assist. Dwight Ramos knocks down that 3. Dwight Ramos with the first of his 2 3-point play opportunities. Big slam there from Troy Murphy Jr. One of the few highlights that Toyama can be real proud of here this afternoon. Steal from Brooks. They push it forward. Shimatani, another assist. Nice slam there by Miller. First quarter ended in favor of Hokkaido, 24-15. The half was 50-37 in favor of the home squad. They changed ends. Buva will get stripped there. One of the 2 steals of Dwight Ramos. And Dwight Ramos will convert. That's another 3-point play there. Third quarter ended in favor of Hokkaido, 69-53. Everything working here. There's a second steal of Dwight. One of his 2 assists. Some more highlights here from Quincy Miller. Unfortunately, it'll be a loss for his squad. But you can see the power. Look at that. Gets up, slams it through. NBA veteran Quincy Miller. Uto there would score. As we have the two youngsters checking in. That was Teruchika Naito. And there on your screens, Tatsuhiro Abe. Here's Abe. With an assist. Almost. Thing was, Watanuki decided to take it inside. Good hands defensively there. As Abe will pick up a rebound here. As he picks up a stat. Winning this ball game is Hokkaido, 87-65. And the two youngsters will remember this as their first time on the floor in B1, and at the same time also a victory for their squad. As you break down the numbers, 43% shooting from 2-point distance as compared to 37% for Toyama. Big difference there. And then it happened. Even in the 3-point distance, they didn't shoot as well as Toyama did, but they had 3 more threes. In terms of free throws, just about even. Turnover story, just too much for Toyama. They have 20 turnovers, only 4 for Levanga Hokkaido. That's going to be one of the best records that they have here in the B-League. An entire game with just 1 turnover. So practically 1 turnover a quarter. 25-8, that's points off turnovers. Again, with a big advantage there is Levanga Hokkaido. 36-28, those are the points in the paint. And 27-2, those are the fast break points. So getting a lot of easy points on the break was the squad of Levanga. And they took well advantage of the mismatches. Scoring leaders, 28 points for Willis, 13 points for Dwight Ramos, and also another 13 for Shuto Terrazono coming off the bench. In a losing effort, 26 points for Miller, 10 points for Ivan Buva, and 6 points for Ryumo Ono. More numbers coming your way just in case you're interested. Rebounds. 11 rebounds for Willis, 9 for Welsh, and 6 for Ramos. Buva also had 11 boards, 10 rebounds for Quincy Miller. So Miller actually had a double-double. And 5 boards also for Uto. That's what we're talking about. If you're interested in assists, Ren Shimatani led all players with 9 dimes. 6 assists for Shuto Terrazono. And Dwight Ramos had 2 for the visitors. 3 for Ono. And 2 apiece for Mito and Gadson. Those are the assist numbers we just talked about. A season high for Ren Shimatani with 9 dimes. Finally, looking at the numbers here, 4 more rebounds for Toyama, 45-41 in this losing effort. But in the assist department, that was clear. 26 assists for Levanga and only 14 for the squad of Toyama. Winning here this afternoon, 87-65. The home squad, Levanga Hokkaido, over Toyama Grouses. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Till tomorrow, have a good afternoon ahead, everybody. Take care. God bless.